Hi everyone, welcome back to the Razor Raider or Blood and Chrome Raider build. Like in the previous video, I mentioned I'll be talking about the paint work. So this is where I've gotten to this stage. I've finished the main colors, the main linings. I'll show you guys what I've done. So this is the progress on the wings. User reference images that's on the box folder to get your coloring, etc. It's your choice what you paint, the colors you paint. I did mention the base coat. Can't remember out of my head what it is, and then I gave it a very light grey mixed with 50% clear just over the top, just to kill off the blue slightly, and this is what I came out with. Now I cannot give you exact coloring for this model because on screen it looks different on every device, cell phone, laptop, plasma screen or LCD screen, TV. It won't look the same because of coloring, your coloring gradient, how you set your TV, etc. And there's no model of this that was used on the series, so you're gonna have to guess. This is my guess, so you can take my guidelines or you can do your own guidelines. It's your choice. Okay, so what I've done was I then used the airbrush and just went over the lines as per the images. And these lines, there is no template for that like I usually give, because I thought it's simple enough to actually do it yourself without having a template, and it is pretty simple. What I did was I measured plus minus lines and then used because for some reason my paint was pulling off with my masking tape, the Tamiya masking tape. So what I did was I put it along the edge of a piece of cardboard just so it touches like 2 millimeters, and then I stuck it on. So this over here is literally 3 millimeters from each edge there and in the bottom. Okay, over here it is 12 millimeters, okay, straight out, and this one curves and goes halfway across the second inlet or outlet. So what I did was, when I did the first one, I made a template. Okay, and that I used to stick on as a guide with a piece of tape on the edge. And then what I did for the other side, I just flipped it over, stuck the tape on, cut it with a blade about 2 millimeters from the edge, and then stuck it on the other one for the same, so that could look the same. Okay, and it came out pretty well. I used German grey for mine. You can use whatever you think is the right color. Okay, for the bottom one, it's actually simpler because there's no curve like this one. So I think I also did 3 millimeters from the edge of, no, here it's 5 millimeters, and then from the bottom edge it's 3 millimeter, and then over here it's 3, and then over here it is 5, and then I just got to the edge and I just cut it down plus minus what I thought. I think it's 2 millimeters on each one, 2 and 3 millimeter, and that's the lines I got, and it came out pretty nice. Okay, onto the body. Okay, let me just dump these wings. So the body, okay, so these sections here get darked out as well. I still need to do the green strip, and then on the wings as well, the wings get a green in these insignias on the inside. Okay, so you can make it very light and just let it flow in there. So that's a bluish green color. It's not fully green. Use the images to see where to make dark. Obviously these outlets, if they are outlets or inlets, I think they're outlets. Okay, then I painted there's a couple of markings on the model as well. If you look at the reference images, there's 2 little red squares. Okay, and then there is a grey square over here and one over here, and then there's this one that's multiple over here. So all I did for that was I plus minus guess what it would be, and then I just cut it on a piece of cardboard, and I just simply stuck it over, held it tightly, and then just sprayed with the airbrush. So this is my guess on what it should be, and I'll obviously give the measurements, but it's your choice what you want to do. So this is 1 centimeter by 2 centimeter, and then each of these little squares is 3 millimeter, and this front one, the large one, is 1 centimeter. Then for these two squares, one is longer, the rear one, that's 9 millimeter by 6 millimeter, and then the smallest one, the front one, is 6 millimeter by, I think, 6 millimeter. Okay, and then just use a sticker over this one over here. I also guessed, I just cut the edge of a piece of paper, and then I just stuck a piece of tape on the rear end over there. Okay, so I just cut the edge, a little square out, put it over, and I just airbrush the red. Okay, you'll see with the top section, and these, I think the stabilizers, there's 4 on the bottom. I painted the outside, I think it was like a dark grey color, and then copper around the little edge, and then I just use a brush and I just painted these ribs in silver. Same on the bottom ones. Okay, what I've done in the meantime, okay, besides the paint job, okay, I've done this rear nozzle as well in copper, is I put the screws in to hold this piece in. Okay, so it holds on pretty well. What I'm going to do is stick a magnet. You get small magnets, you can buy them online. This is a 1 centimeter by 1 millimeter magnet. I'm going to stick one over here and one onto the inside of here so that it doesn't fall out. And it sits quite flush. Okay, it actually goes in there and this sits flush. So it came together very, very well. Okay, then the rear engines actually hold it together better. Okay, I'm still going to do a wash down the central section just to make it a little bit darker over here, and in these outlets as well. When I did the grey to kill down the blue slightly, I actually put a little bit over the these rear fins because they were too black, just to kill them off slightly. So it's your choice how you do it. You can use an airbrush or hand. I'm comfortable working with an airbrush. Okay. My airbrush, out of interest sake, is a Iwata Revolution. It's a very good airbrush, and it's used by ILM. Adam Savage actually recommended it as well after I bought it. And it sprays very well, easy to clean, sprays thick and thin paint. So it's very versatile. Okay, so anyway, down to the bottom, as you can see over here, I did the same process on these lower engines, and then you see there is a little red stripe on the rear of each of these. I simply did the same procedure as this. Okay, and I just stuck it over, and then I just painted with red, the same red color that's on the front, these square parts. Okay, over here is dark as well. This is I think it's a yellowish greenish color, so I'll be doing that next. And then I might just use some pastel or the weathering powders just to like add extra detail onto the model. I did around the edges of this in dark. I might do these little ribs silver. Okay, then I'm going to do copper on the inside of these, supposed to do the hinges. Okay, as you can see, there's enough area inside here for to add a PC board for to add lighting onto the kit. Obviously, the clear part is going to be the rear intakes, and these inserts going to each of these are all clear as well. Okay, so that's my color paint job. I think there was a previous paint video I did where I showed you the base color, etc. But everything will be in the build document. So what I don't mention here, I'll mention the build document and vice versa. That's why I always recommend looking at the videos and reading the build document, because they often I forget things on the video, which then I have more time to think when I'm busy doing the documents. I can just add it on there, and so just check that out as well. Please read it. And then one more thing, what I did was And due to my stupidity, and I do apologize, the mold actually had bubbles in each of the recesses for the clear lights, okay, because that's the other clear part if you want to add clear lighting. So I used my Dremel and a very small drum sander, which is this one, and very, very carefully I drill these out. Okay, it consists of two parts, a wider one and then a thin one. So choose the right thickness. Okay, so drill them out and to add the lighting. So one point of interest is don't shove your clear in there before you drill the hole through for the actual LED, because once it's in you won't get it out because it fits in very snugly. Okay, so I'd recommend drilling a hole through maybe to the bottom of the edge of the cockpit somehow and then getting the wiring through the back. But that's part of the adventure of building these kits. I try to make it as light, well, what's the word, light versatile as possible to add lighting. Okay, so the next video what I'm going to do is I'll come back when I'm completely done with the green over here, the wings green, and then the extra weathering I'll be doing on the kit. Yeah, but I'm happy so far. I'm sure you'll be happy with this kit as well. I'm quite happy with it. It looks good. Okay guys, so till the next one. Thanks. Cheers.